Today's video is part of the Spread Joy Not Germs blog hub. It is a massive one and you are not going to want to miss out because there is loads and loads and loads of prizes. And I think there is about 150 people signed up, so you're going to be super inspired by the time you're finished with this blog hub. I have made a card with lots and lots of Catherine Pooler goodies, as well as some heat embossing and some yummies from Hero Arts. As you can see here, I am ink blending with the inks. The goal here is to create some very rainbow-licious backgrounds. And the first one I've used is Limoncello. You can't really see it because it is so pale against the or with the light. But I'm going to work my way through all these, and the next color is Lime Ricky. All these inks and the ink blending brushes and the stencils and pixie spray and almost all of the stuff I'm going to use for this video will be find. Well, you can find them in the Catherine Pooler shop. So if you want to pick up a few little things here and there, I will link all the products below so you can grab them if you want them. These links are used or are all affiliate links. So if you shop using these links, I will get a small commission from Catherine Pooler directly at no cost to you whatsoever. So if you choose to support me like this, I really appreciate it. And I promise you I will not take it for granted. Everything that goes into or comes from these links will go straight back into this little channel and my blog, and I'm working on keeping all that content fresh and fun for you, and of course free as well. So here we are, we're on to our next color. This one is All That Jazz, and it is fantastic turquoise color. Now you might notice that it doesn't look like super smooth, but once the inks dry, the colors will actually sort of fade out a little bit, and they will settle down, so they will be more blended. So if you feel like you can't quite get that smooth blend, don't worry, just keep blending, and once it's all dry, it will look so much better. This is obviously super sped up, but I did take my time doing all this. The reason I have one brush for each color is so that I can go back in and out and not having to worry about that color contamination, and also to smooth out that blend. Because I do like to do one color, then I add the next color, and then I go back in with the first color to just really even that out. The little piece of acetate you can see that I'm using there is like my my little safety guard thing. It's just a simple piece of acetate with a little bit of post-it tape on it so that I can see where it is, because obviously acetate is see-through. And there have been times when I've been looking at something that is right in front of me, but I simply couldn't see it. But this will protect your project as well as your fingers, because once you do ink blending, you don't want to touch your project because then you'll get fingerprints, and that's not really what we are after. So we're coming towards the end of this one. I will do another piece as well, but this one I want it really rich and vibrant, and then I'm going to be doing some heat embossing on top of this to just add a little bit of texture and funness. And look at that. Now I have sped up the drying process of this by using my WOW heat tool. So I've used this quite liberally on the both front and the back to speed up the process, because obviously when you're doing heat embossing, you're going to want your paper to be super dry. But I have also gone over with my anti-static tool, and this will just help you get a cleaner look basically. Then I have placed my swoop stencil, which has been liberally sprayed with pixie spray, on top of my panel, and then we're gonna really mush that embossing pad in to get the whole panel covered. And you will see in the light once this is taken off. The embossing pattern I'm using is my favorite white. It's a bright white, or opaque bright white even. And we're gonna put our panel on top of a piece of paper, and then we're gonna sprinkle this very liberally with our embossing pattern on top of the excess, and then do the other side. Now, if you want to do heat embossing and you don't want any stray powder, the best thing to do really is to ink blend and then leave it overnight to dry so that it is super, super bone dry, because you will get the best result on dry paper. Here we are, almost finished. And with this heat tool, I've used the lowest setting. The fast setting is crazy speedy. So I have never actually used it for a project. And here we are, we're going to do the second panel as well. So the first one was done without the stencil, and then we did the heat embossing on top, and now we have done some stenciling over a piece of Bristol vellum cardstock. And this die cut is from Hero Arts. It's called Thinking of You, and it comes with sweet sentiments as well. And I have cut this out 8 times out of black cardstock, and I've done 2 pieces. And then I've laid these up with liquid glue. I do find that liquid glue, when you're having little intricate pieces like this, is the best thing, because it will give you a little bit of leeway so that you're not stuck when you're sticking something down and it doesn't fit the first time. And then we are really, really gonna cover this with our embossing pad and clear embossing powder. And with my little corkboard and pointy tweezers, we're going to secure that in place so I don't have to touch it and hold it in place and burn my fingers while we're melting this powder. And then I've done this 2 times to make sure that it is a really, really thick layer of clear embossing powder. So you just need to leave it to dry a little bit in between, and then you stamp that again with the embossing pad and cover it again with the embossing powder, and then secure it again with your pointy tweezers. And this corkboard is, like I said, I've used this for years now, and it is super, super cheap, a little piece, and it's saved my fingers so many times. Then on white cardstock, I stamped up the Puts a Smile on My Face from the stamp set, so that it will say, Thinking of You, puts a smile on my face. And these are cut out using a small banner die cut from My Favorite Things. And yeah, with that, the cards are done. But thank you so much for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoyed these cards, and we'll maybe make a few cards with these from inspiration. And I will, as I said, I will link everything down below so that you can find these goodies in case you want to grab a little something for yourself. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.